What's going on, guys? Got a Silent Striker gameplay, and I do get a MOAB, but I'm not going to make that the center of the video, or else everyone will freak out that I'm making all my videos MOABs. And I've got some changes at hand planned for that. I'm going to get some custom class generated gameplay, hopefully, and also some high-scoring ground war. I might, get into that. I really don't like ground war that much in this game. I find that it's pretty ridiculous, the amount of bullshit that happens to you, but that's beyond the fact. Yeah, so I'm using the Silent Striker here with damage. I'd suggest using range on it, unless you're using the specialist. I just use damage because once I get my specialist bonus, you don't unlock damage with the specialist bonus, but you do unlock range. So once I get 8 kills, I have damage and range together, which is really beast. But if you're using assault or support, this thing is a monster too. I'd suggest using range because range cancels out really what the silencer does, makes it have very similar range to the unsilenced striker. It reminds me a lot of the Spaz 12 from Black Ops, which was a monster of a gun. But anyway, I thought I'd move on from that. I'm going to talk about SOAP a little bit, just my thoughts on it. And, I just personally think it's a terrible idea. It kind of seems like it's trying to bring back a dying business model and in the meantime squashing very flourishing and, exploding businesses. That is, the internet. Well, obviously you guys know the internet's exploding, but I mean, what is it going to achieve? Do they think that people are going to go back out and start buying, records again, start buying CDs and DVDs? And it's not going to happen. I mean, it's a dying business model. You're never going to make billions of dollars off of CD sales again. You got to find another way around it. The record companies are dying, but it's a great time for music because now a lot of the power is put in the hands of the artist, and they can do what they want, make the music they want. And, the record companies are kind of dying out, which is a good thing because, they've had their time in the sun. And it just kind of shows how the SOAP Act, how lobbyists and people that support a certain cause can buy politicians. I mean, if you need one thing done for your corporation, then you can just pay for a politician to do it, support his campaign fund, buy a super PAC, whatever you need to do. And it's kind of sad because it's so far from what the American values are. It's gone from doing the right thing to doing whatever the corporations want, basically. And it shows how the US is becoming less and less of a democracy and more of a plutocracy. And if you don't know what that is, that's when the power of a country is held in the hands of the rich, which seems to be what's happening right now. And in the meantime, being able to have a large amount of money and being able to support causes that cause you to have even more money technically leads to exponential growth for the rich and displacement of income. And I'm not communist by any means. I don't think they should force displacement of income among the population, but I don't think that's right, because if the rich can get richer just because they're rich and the poor get poorer because they have no money in the first place, then that erodes the middle class, and then that leads to societies more akin to South Africa or these other countries where 99% of the wealth is in 1% of the population, which may even be true for the US at this moment. And the US, a big part of it was formed on the middle class. I mean, a lot of the people that came from England to form the US were lower classes of the population that had literally no way possible to achieve a higher class in England, so they went to the US so they could be the higher class or the middle class. And that's just completely eroding. I don't know what needs to be done. I'm not a politician. I'm not from the US, but obviously living in Canada, a lot of stuff that happens in the States affects here. What I'd suggest maybe is just taxing the rich, taxing the poor less, taxing on income even more intensely, because how else are you supposed to do it when it's in a volatile marketplace like right now, and the rich are scared to even hire people just because they want to stay rich, they want to keep that lifestyle. And everyone in the country wants that lifestyle. A lot of people who aren't rich will probably score in this commentary just because, look at this nice quad spray. A lot of people who aren't rich right now are probably going to score in this commentary just for the simple fact that they think that they're going to be rich in their lifetime. And I mean, let's be honest, guys, you're not going to be unless you work your ass off. And if you're playing video games in the first place, you probably don't even have the work ethic to pull that off. And I'm not trying to sound negative, but you just get this whole kind of conservative, I'm not trying to say Republican or Democrat because I don't think either of those represent traditional liberalism or conservatism, but I think that, a lot of people that are against all of this, kind of communist stuff, it's not even communism if you knew what communism was, but against all these kind of socialist values are the people who probably think that they're going to be rich in their lifetime. And I mean, come on, guys, let's be honest here. You may be wealthy, but you know this kind of you know act by the upper class is going to prevent you from even becoming middle class, which is definitely a more attainable feat. Anyway, my opinion. Don't take from it what you want. Take it for granted. It's just my thoughts on the thing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.